Mike and Cher, this woman has been spotted all over Torrance, cussing at people and even making racial slurs. And in one video, she says, "I'm not a racist." Well, I'll let you be the judge of that.
How would you react if you saw a Karen in action? Breaking laws like they're above them. These are the times when their arrogance hits an all-time high, shocking us all. Let's take a look at some of them. Let's start with Lena Hernandez. This person caused a storm of controversy with her shocking and offensive behavior towards a few Asian Americans at a Torrance park. The disturbing incidents, captured on camera, showed her hurling racial insults, including telling a woman to go back to whatever Asian country you belong in, like she owns the park. She was even using a fake Asian accent to mock and belittle a man.
Respect. Respect people. Lady.
Understand your language.
Respect.
In a move that further fueled outrage, Hernandez chose to plead no contest to a misdemeanor battery charge. Despite the severity of her actions, her sentence appeared surprisingly light. Just 47 days in jail, 3 years of probation, mandatory anger management classes, and a restraining order to stay away from her victims and the mall where one of the incidents occurred. This leniency of her punishment left many, including the victims and those affected by Hernandez's hateful tirades, feeling that justice had not been served. They questioned whether the legal system truly valued the safety and dignity of Asian Americans. Adding to the controversy, one of Hernandez's victims, Kayceelan Salminao, took to social media to reveal that Hernandez had assaulted her at the same mall the year before. Salminao's frustration was understandable as she highlighted the lack of immediate action taken by the authorities in response to her initial complaint. Incidents such as these make one think about the broader issues of racial discrimination and the need for stronger measures to combat such behavior. And are we sure about the effectiveness of the justice system in addressing hate crimes against marginalized communities? Kayceelan Salminao, a victim of Hernandez's violent outburst, described how Hernandez verbally attacked a custodian at the mall before physically assaulting her. Salminao recounted the horrifying experience of being pushed to the ground, having her hair pulled, her head held down, and being repeatedly punched on the back of her head by Hernandez. Salminao pleaded for justice in a plea to the judge, asking them to reject the plea deal. She shared that she continues to suffer from psychological trauma as a result of the assault. The incident has had a profound impact on her life, causing her to avoid places she once enjoyed out of fear of encountering Hernandez in their community. Following the widespread attention on social media regarding Hernandez's racist behavior at the park, the Torrance City Attorney's Office filed criminal charges against her for the mall attack, leading to her arrest on misdemeanor battery charges. Still not enough punishment for such blatant display racism. Next, we have another crazy Karen who also happens to be a racist.
A McMinnville woman caught on camera going on a racist rant is expected to enter a plea today.
You are not going to believe what this woman, Amber Rocco, pulled off. Her actions landed her in the headlines not once, but twice for racially charged incidents. The first incident occurred on Christmas Eve in McMinnville, where Rocco was caught on camera using offensive racial language and wielding a knife during a parking dispute with the Robertson family. The situation escalated when Rocco verbally and physically attacked them, even spitting on and slapping one of the victims. She then brandished a knife, leaving the victims worried for their lives. Can you imagine what they must have felt at the moment? Despite swift law enforcement action leading to Rocco's arrest, the story took an unexpected turn. In a separate incident, Rocco allegedly used mace against her neighbor, Barbara Helderman Kinney, while hurling racial slurs at her.
I've never in my life used that word. I have a very mixed family and I love them.
The altercation unfolded during a snow shoveling incident, with Rocco spraying Helderman Kinney with mace and telling her to go back to Mexico. Security cameras captured the entire incident, showing Rocco had the mace prepared in her hand as she exited her truck, indicating a deliberate and premeditated act. On to the next one. This Karen stunned everyone when she fearlessly navigated through police barricades and restricted streets, only to be swiftly apprehended by officers in a nearby parking lot. What unfolded next was a traffic stop that spiraled into chaos. As Lieutenant Osborne took control, demanding her ID and probing her intentions, Karen, seemingly oblivious to the restricted area, justified her actions as a mere attempt to meet friends. However, the situation took a drastic turn when officers discovered a 14-month-old baby in the back seat, raising suspicions of impairment. Despite officers' attempts to investigate further, Karen remained strong, adamantly denying any wrongdoing and growing increasingly frustrated. She even tried to leverage her professional background, claiming ties to the Department of Education and Senator Bob Graham to sway the officers. Yeah, right, as if pulling favors would save her, but their focus remained unwavering, prioritizing the child's safety and a thorough investigation, despite Karen's attempts to deflect blame. This is Lydia Badillo, a classic Karen, who found herself in a mess at the Mexican border when she was caught trying to transport 2 undocumented immigrants. As the situation unfolded, Lydia tried to use her charm to get out of trouble, but the officer saw through her act. It turned out her identification was fake, and the 2 women with her from El Salvador were undocumented immigrants. The officer sent the 2 women back across the border, showing a commitment to duty and ensuring their safety. The kind of encounters the law enforcement officers have to face in maintaining order and upholding the law is astonishing, especially when dealing with the likes of Lydia Badillo. The next video is going to take you on a trip down the memory lane, right to Eileen Wuornos. Eileen Wuornos' story is a shocking tale of violence and sheer arrogance that captivated the nation.
Okay, I cannot go in the execution chamber and die in the execution chamber as a liar.
What did she do? Well, she was no ordinary criminal. She was a serial killer who ruthlessly took the lives of 6 men during her robbery sprees. What made her case even more shocking was her demeanor during her trial. She showed no remorse, boldly proclaiming in court that she wasn't sorry for ending those men's lives, and even expressed a willingness to die if necessary. This lack of remorse and her fearless attitude is crazy to even begin thinking about. Wuornos eventually came around in the end and spoke about her faith, claiming to believe in God and angels. She wanted people to remember that she was sorry for causing harm to others, but her actions spoke louder than words. The evidence she left behind at the crime scenes shows a chilling level of premeditation and calculation. Despite her shocking behavior, Wuornos received 6 death penalties for her crimes. Throughout her trial, she remained defiant, even going as far as threatening the jury. This defiance continued until her execution by lethal injection on October 9, 2002, marking the end of a dark chapter in criminal history. Wuornos' troubled past added another layer of shock to her story. Her father, Leo Pittman, had a history of mental health issues and ended up in prison. When she was just 4 years old, she and her brother went to live with their grandparents. Her teenage years were turbulent, living in a home for young mothers, dropping out of school, and eventually turning to prostitution.
Making me get bitter, evil, angry. I've never been before in my life. Worse than even out there with those men. This is evil, what those people have done to me.
She had a long history with the law, having been arrested for robbery, passing fraudulent checks, and stealing cars. By 1991, Wuornos had earned the chilling title of America's first female serial killer. She lived a transient life, often staying in motels or on the streets. Her victims were men who had picked her up while she was hitchhiking. She claimed that she killed them to protect herself from assault. Between 1989 and 1990, she took the lives of at least 7 men.
I knew I was raped, and you weren't nothing but a bunch of scum.
Therefore, these proceedings are now
Putting
concluded.
somebody who was raped to death.
That concludes this video. Hit that like button and subscribe to stay connected with us for more engaging content. Until next time.